So you guys know how I really don't watch TV much, and I really don't keep up with trends about musicians, actors, beauty standards. Influencers are now the thing that's entertaining us and distracting us and putting ideas into our head. Well, I don't expect for this to be like a popular opinion, I guess. People overall think this way, but they just don't know how to express it. I just had a random thought about beauty standards and I guess the competitive aspect of attraction. Like what traits are considered, what's considered appealing, what makes you more likely to be considered for mating reasons, I guess. And I couldn't help but think about the mega celebrities, especially the Kardashians, which they have beauty lines for skincare, I think, and clothes. Do they even still sell clothes? Because I remember their Dash stores, I think. Weren't they all closing down? Kylie Jenner, at the very least, has a makeup brand. I find it odd that these people, and let's throw influencers now into the mix, they get surgeries to conform to the beauty standards that, if you ask me, they themselves created. Like, oh, the trend now is to have, I don't know, to give an example, the thicker eyebrows that are longer and more feline face shapes and stuff. And let's say that some 15 years ago, the trend might have been something like really thin, plucked eyebrows and then hair that's dyed in multiple layers. Like, say, I remember this trend where you could be a brunette, but you had blonde highlights, something like that, whatever that's called, and kind of star shaped at the top or something. So you get these surgeries to conform to that beauty standard that you created, but now, especially with the whole talk about mental health, which I don't think is a bad thing, but now you're trying to change the mentality of how you are judged. Maybe because time is passing and it doesn't do any of us any favors, but I guess the reason you're trying to change it now and try to make it more about, oh, natural looks is the trend now and it's the way to go. Your nude colors or going completely sans makeup, which, by the way, you had the option of doing that the entire time. Makeup has never been obligatory, but for some reason now people are seeing it as a defiant movement that gives you power of some sort. And if you ask me, I think that you're trying to change the beauty, I guess, landscape of what's acceptable or what's most appealing and attractive, because now you created this problem, you created this competitive landscape, and now all of a sudden a combination of maybe it being costly, not necessarily financially for all these rich people, but say it costs time. And with the cost of time, that means that you're having to give something up that you're supposed to be doing, but in its place, you have to do all these beauty rituals, and that's costing you time that you could be investing doing other things. But this is the very landscape that you created, and now you're trying to change it because I guess you cannot maintain it anymore. You cannot maintain your looks without making yourself plastic, pretty much, getting so many surgeries and stuff. And with age, all of this stuff is going to catch up with you and come crashing down and look really bad. So now I guess you're saying a more natural look is the way to go, because of course you might be realizing that you cannot maintain that habit of just altering yourself all the time. So in conclusion, you're getting surgeries and making all these changes, make yourself competitive, but because you created this problem of beauty standards and literally something like Vanity Fair being the fakest place in the world, now you're trying to call that out as toxic behaviors because you yourself cannot maintain your own level of competitiveness. How about if you just don't participate at all? I think that's the best way to compete, by not competing, because it is popular for you to be competing. So how about if you become the person who's not competing? And maybe that's what would make you a unique type of attractive. Like I said, I don't expect that to be a popular opinion or a strong opinion. I don't mean anything by it. It's really the way I think. I'm a very simple person. I don't have any complexes. I don't feel inferior or unworthy and stuff. I just thought I would put it out there to see what you guys think, if what I'm saying makes sense, if you agree with it a little bit, or if you never considered it like that before, but now it makes sense, or if you think that I'm completely missing the point. If I'm missing the point, please tell me, because I've never been a normal female in that regard. And I'm all right with that. Like, I'm very clear with who and what I am, but maybe there is something that I have yet to consider that actually makes this a very important thing. I just want to understand how this ends up being so important for people, that they invest things that to me are incredibly valuable, such as time, but also the consequences that this is going to have on your body. I try to respect my body as much as possible, even if I don't have like a very good diet and sleep pattern right now. But at least I can say that I have always avoided things like smoking and doing drugs and plastic surgery and stuff. So yeah, you guys let me know.